Ray Benzino back in effect.
Prezzo.
What up,
baby?
big brother?
Man, it's good to be back, man. Shout out to DJ Vlad.
Shout to DJ Vlad, kid. It's a lot going on in hip hop. It's a lot we got to cover. So I'm glad to have you back in the building. Welcome back, kid.
Appreciate it, man. I'm ready.
My brother. Yo, we can't start this off. R.I.P. Young Dolph.
Young Dolph, man. It's crazy, man. You know, probably one of my favorite artists like right now, as far as his music goes and his production. About a month ago, I was recording with my man K Vaughn, just doing some tracks. I still do tracks. I like to do trap just because of how big the beats are and everything, you know. The Memphis boys go hard as far as production.
No question.
So I was saying, damn, boy, I wouldn't mind. I said, I wondered, man, if I have a meeting with Dolph, man, just see if I could get a one-off album with him. I'm telling you, the craziest shit, yo. And I was like, I wonder if he would do that. He was coming down here to KOD here in Atlanta. And I had got on the phone with his engineer, sent him a couple of my tracks. He was like, damn, Zeno, this is you? You still? I was like, yeah, man, you know, I still got it. He was like, word. He was like, all right. And then a friend of mine in Memphis was going to try to get us together. And then, man, when I seen what happened, I just was like, oh, man. My son was the first one to call me. Ray called me and told me. And then I just, you know, and I had COVID at the time. I had caught COVID, so I was at the crib. And, man, I just was like, you know what I mean? It's just like one of those failings again. You know, we felt it so many times growing up with friends, family, but then with even in hip-hop, big names to go that when I heard it, I just was disappointed because I really was a fan of his music. But also, it just made me like really see like this transition of the streets, social media, bloggers, like this shit is like all out of control now, you know, and you know, YouTube and just all this shit, like you said, it's just like kind of chaotic. Like it wasn't like this when I grew up, you know what I'm saying, Prez?
Nah, not at all. I mean, you know, hip hop, I mean, this is one of the most dangerous professions you can get into. Like right now, I feel like if you pop as a rapper, you gotta, I mean, once upon a time, you pop as a rapper, you looking forward to traveling, making money, buying expensive cars. Like now you fearing for your life. This is a dangerous freaking profession. And every time we hear about this, it's like one too many.
Right. I mean, you know, the profession is more dangerous. The streets are more dangerous because, like I said, with the internet, like now you got investigators. You know, see, one thing about the streets, when you're in the streets, there's the streets, then there's the police. So if crimes are done, if issues are done, a lot of the stuff could just stay in the hood because not too many people are going to cooperate with the police in a lot of instances. So a lot of things in the hood go unsolved because, you know, these are hood affairs and they stay in the hood. Now with the internet, there are people who are investigating this shit so thoroughly that the police don't really even got to do their work. They just go to YouTube and look at some of these guys who not necessarily they're connected probably with the people perpetrating the crimes, but they're from our culture. So it's almost like, you know, I mean, it blows my mind to see some of this shit because, I mean, you got to be careful if you're out there really doing crimes now because you're not only being investigated by the police, you're being investigated by the bloggers and people right in your neighborhoods to the T of where they're editing videos where each step of whatever you may have done can be calculated. And to me, that is, unless niggas want to go to jail for 20, 30 years, I mean, unless niggas like wake up and like, you know what, I don't mind going to jail 15, 20, 30 years. It's almost impossible right now. And then when you have a high profile person, like this shit is like each day you're running to YouTube and you're looking to see what the nigga got to offer because a lot of people are just sending them in information. They're sending it to these bloggers' DMs and they're just editing in. And it's just a different world we're living in, man. And to me, you don't have a chance in the streets anymore. You know what I'm saying? And the most unfortunate thing about the Dolph situation, of course, his family. You know what I'm saying? Condolences to prayers to his family. But really the most unfortunate thing is here you have a young black man cut down in his prime with a lot of money that was trying to do good for his people, that was putting on his people, that was giving money to his people. Every person I spoke to about this man, they had nothing but great things to say and how generous he was. And, you know, I don't speak on beef between him and him because it's none of my business at the end of the day. And that's how I raise my kids. You stay out of other people's beef that have nothing to do with you. You don't even have an opinion on it. Because at the end of the day, nobody knows except the person who pulled them triggers and the person who took the shots and whoever was close to them. So I don't have an opinion on it one way or the other, even if I wanted to. And that's how I think, that's how I was brought up. Okay. We live in days now where everybody has opinions and sometimes most of the time that shit is just frustrating bullshit. And this is a time where young people are getting access to more money than probably in the history of our land.
No question.
And they're blowing it, Prez. They're fucking blowing it. Because most of the shit that they're doing, they want to be known doing it. They want comments, likes. It's not just enough to do the crime, but you want to be known for doing it. Like, what fucking universe does that happen in?
Nah, they're addicted to the likes. They're addicted to that social media. Like, they came up on it and they've been putting everything on social media. And for them, it's no different. That clout chasing now, if I do something out here in these streets, I want people to know I did it. Not thinking, and the crazy thing is, not thinking that you just made the detectives' jobs easier. You just made your ops' jobs easier. Everybody know what you're doing, but it's almost like it's uncontrollable. They can't help but put what they're doing up on social media. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my life.
Have you ever been to Memphis?
Yeah, I've been to Memphis. Yep. Absolutely.
I mean, the poverty in Memphis has to be. It's almost like, is this America? I mean,
no, it's different.
I mean, the conditions that America has put these people in, and I say that because it doesn't have to be that way. There's too much fucking money for people to live that way. And the gun laws, there are none. You don't even have to have a permit nowadays to carry a gun down there. Any gun. I'm talking all kind of guns. And it's just, I just feel so bad for these families and these kids because they're growing up single family homes and they're looking to the internet as guidance, and the only attention they're getting is from the internet. Therefore, whatever they do is going to be on the internet, and they don't understand the ignorance of what they're doing. That's going to end up getting them killed or end up getting their families killed, which is a selfish act, and get them time beyond imaginable.
No question.
It's the saddest. The whole idea was to get money and get the fuck out the hood and get your loved ones out the hood. Not turn your back on the hood, but you gotta go. You can't stay. Why would you want to stay? You can go back. You can contribute. You can build. You can do all these things, but you cannot stay because the level of hate, the level of jealousy, when people are piled up on each other like all the hoods are, and we grow up on each other like that, everybody becomes family. So when a couple of motherfuckers make it, everybody else is mad. I went through that. I get it. But these places are so damn near like third world countries in the sense of the government, man, they don't give them a chance. The education, their fucking schools, these kids don't have a fucking chance. And the government knows what's going on. They're letting it go on. And these fucking people from YouTube are making trillions of dollars from it. Off the blood and the fucking time from from our kids.
Yo.
These kids could be my kids, could be my brothers and everything. We all the fucking same. We might talk different, but there's nothing different in us. So people would understand there's no reason to kill each other. There's only one enemy. And it's not us. And the sooner we realize that, maybe we could turn it around. Because our leadership is at an all-time low, no disrespect to nobody, because these Gen Zers don't want to listen to anybody anyways. They feel like the OGs might have failed them, and I can understand that. But some of the OGs feels like they don't want to listen, and I can understand that. So what the fuck we gonna do? We gonna sit back and allow it to continue to happen? We got to take responsibility as a whole, as a country of people, of our culture, of hip hop, to come together to say this cannot happen. These motherfuckers that own these labels, these ultra rich motherfuckers, they got to stop putting into these neighborhoods. They got to. We got to stop holding responsible, because if we don't, they're the ones that's making all the money, and their fucking kids come home every night. It's not fair, Prez. It's not right.
You're 100% right. You know, even as you was talking, it made me think. Boosie says something that was real, and I want to get your thoughts on it. He was like, "Yo, most rappers get killed in their own hoods." He said people in these hoods become hypnotized with hatred from your success. What you think about that?
Yeah, of course. I mean, Pac and Biggie didn't get killed in their own hoods. So it's right now beyond the hood. It's beyond the own hood. Maybe when back in the day when we came up, it was like that, but it's beyond that now. And they can get it anywhere.
Absolutely, but I was just thinking about what you were saying. Like, once you out the hood, because that's the goal, right? You work this hard to get out the hood, and you could come back. But when you go back, and we was just talking about how poverty-stricken a place like Memphis is. If you go back and you driving expensive cars, you got expensive, like those people, as much as they might love you, it could turn to, yo, you know, is he back here to show off what he got? Because I still need to eat. I didn't make it out the hood yet. And you know, with that logic, people get hypnotized by your success. They get hypnotized by hate looking at your success. And that's a real statement.
You know, shit. Like I said, man, a lot of these cities, certain areas, everybody knows how to move. You got to know how to move in certain areas.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows, man? Dolph might have just been tired. Dolph might have just said, fuck it. Tired of it. He'd already been shot. Remember, the car, and he'd been shot in L.A. at the hotel. The car was shot up all these times. At this point, man, he probably was just like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? You probably come to a time where, you know, I've came to a couple of times where I was just like, fuck it, and probably put my head on the chopping block, and God willing, nothing happened. Sometimes, man, you know, you're in your life, and it's just, you're just tired of being deep with niggas, and tired of, you know what I'm saying, fucking beefing, and tired of, to the point it's like, man, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Maybe that's how Dolph was feeling. And that's a fucked up way to feel. You know what I'm saying?
It really is.
You know, when you're successful and you've made all this fucking money, you know, I don't know if motherfuckers know what to do with it. I don't know if motherfuckers know where to go from there, because that people, they've only grow up a certain way. Sometimes you can't see beyond what the fuck you grew up in. So money doesn't even change that.
Nah, I mean, to go back to what Big said 25, 30 years ago, you know, more money, more problems. Like, you really think...
For our culture. Not for their culture.
For our culture.
Only our fucking culture takes that dumb shit on. More money, more... That is... Think about that. How fucking crazy is that? It's more money, more problems, because we're spending it in the wrong fucking areas, and we're worrying about the wrong things. And with the internet, that just makes everything with you money and money and money. I mean, motherfuckers are losing their mind. People don't know the effects that the internet is having on them over these last 10 years, maybe 10. It's still in the early stage. A 10-year-old is still a kid. So the internet on our fucking minds is still in the early stage, and we don't even understand how much damage it's doing. Imagine 10 more years from now.